Okay, time for introduction number 81. You might notice my voice is not so good. I've been ill all week, so I'll do the best I can. Anyway, it's a bright Sunday morning. You can probably hear the birds outside of my office window. So, natural disaster opinion. We never know when natural disasters will shatter an area. That's why the government should take every precaution to protect its citizens from natural disaster. Do you agree or not? Okay. Paraphrase, what could we do? We never know, impossible, the natural disasters. You could paraphrase that, floods, earthquakes, will shatter. Somebody used obliterate, which is a little bit strong. That is why, since the government, authorities, states, etc., ought to, measures, precaution. So, there's quite a few things that you can use there. What's the idea? I agree. As the government officials can anticipate and minimise the impact by early warning systems, like you get a text if there's an earthquake or something, proper education among the citizens. So here's a introduction. Since it is impossible for us to predict when adverse events such as earthquakes and floods are going to happen, citizen protection measures ought to be implemented by states. I concur with the statement, as government officials can anticipate and minimise the impact of natural disasters by early warning systems and proper education among the citizens. Okay, that's good. So let's take a look at yours. This first one's good. The state ought to take preventative steps, so you could use other measures or steps, to provide protection for its citizens against natural hazards, as it is never known when such catastrophes will wreak havoc in an area. I completely agree with your statement, since I believe it is the government's responsibility to protect one's property in case of a disaster. Well, it's also about lives, but not strictly a property. This next one's good as well, but we don't need a definite article on obliterate. That's a little bit strong. That means totally wipe out, eliminate. So I would maybe, move that down a little bit. States are expected to take every precautionary measure. Okay, the author concurs. Now, how can you develop preventative programs to prevent natural? You can't prevent a natural disaster. That's the whole point. It just happens. How can you prevent floods, earthquakes, etc.? So, preventative, we can't really use that. You can't prevent them. You can ameliorate the results or consequences, but you can't really prevent them. Okay, now, I don't want to say this. Natural disasters, do they ever give notice? I mean, not as such. So, and you don't need, therefore, I strongly believe precautionary measures must be taken for the protection of citizens. I mean, potential citizen victims. Can you be a victim of a natural disaster? Maybe. It's essay that argue, so we'll also argue, etc., etc. So that's not bad. I would just maybe reword that. Due to fact, natural disasters. Okay, now, again, how can you prevent these natural disasters? Perilous. Okay, you can use it. That's not too bad. But again, it's not about prevention, is it? I mean, if we check back to the top of every precaution, which is not the same as prevention. So, there was an opinion asserting the real-time natural catastrophes is yet to be predicted. That's a slightly long-winded way of paraphrasing, but it's okay. We don't need contractions, and we don't need therefore. as a direct consequence of, and just say, I am completely for this idea on the basis of two primary reasons. Now, I would usually expect you to mention what they were in your outline sentence. Okay, we don't need this. It's not conditional. Whether, if, don't really need it. So simply, floods, earthquakes, or forest fires are, don't forget your verb, considered as non-predictable natural disasters. Some believe governments should take action and measures should be taken. So either should take place or should be taken, not should be taken place. Okay, can't do it like that. Now, I don't want to be overly hard, but I'm not gifted with second sight to prophecy the next time act of God. Okay, I would paraphrase that. Try and stick to the wording in the topic. I think, I would try and stick with that. Sentence 2 and 3, not too bad, but that first sentence, I wouldn't use it. Okay. This one's good. I'm not going to read everything out because, as you can tell, my voice is pretty croaky. I would just change that conjunction into an article. The disaster afterwards, make it a plural, and that's pretty good. Now, drastic measures. Where does it say that? It says precautions, which is not the same as drastic. So, again, as I keep saying, omit nothing, add nothing to your introductions when you are paraphrasing. So, because of foreseeable natural phenomena should be phenomena. Completely agree with statement or should be involved. Okay, that is good. I just watched that paraphrasing. It's not quite the same. Now, again, what's this got to do? Where does it say this in the topic? It doesn't say that, does it? Let's just have another look, just to be sure. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. If you want to include extra detail, information to support your ideas, put it in your body paragraph. We don't want it. We don't need it in the introduction. The examiner is going to read this and say, "Hey, where does it say this?" Because it doesn't. So, sentence 2 and 3 are good. It's just it doesn't really say that. So don't add things that it doesn't say. So, not too bad. I'll keep this short. I say my voice is not so good today. So, most of these, not too bad. Not too bad at all. I'll just have a quick. So, that one's good. Maybe a little bit strong one. Logic. Okay. Not too bad. Again, I think most of these are not bad at all. Okay. Hope that helps. So we'll have another one. Actually, what we've been doing, I've been posting in the groups on task 1, academic tasks, so I'll be commenting on those, your introductions and overviews. So that will do for now. See you next time.